Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Crypto Vibes. Actually, this is the first episode. It's going to be something more of a laid back approach. Me and Mr. Crypto Beast, we're going to be attacking, and just handling some more of the comfort, the more obscure topics of the of what's going on in the crypto space. Some of the behind the scene things. Obviously, there's going to be some things that we talk about that certain people may or may not like during these episodes. But this is just this is just for entertainment purposes only. We're not here to flood anybody's bags or to be down, but it's some of the things that we see on social media. So it'd be more of like some of the news debates that we find on topics from social media, whether we feel this way or not. We probably will just take the topics on and go with them and see where they go. No set purpose. And as always, I'm vibing. If you guys don't know me by now, I also do a couple other things around on the YouTube with Asia Blockcast, as well as Big One. But nothing that we do here will be directed towards that. Just kind of more of a freestyle type of a deal. And that's a little bit about me. And I'll let Scott tell you a little bit about himself, and then we'll jump into some stuff.
Yeah, as you know me, Scott at Crypto Beast, this is going to be an exciting little change for us where we can talk about more what we want to talk about. Sometimes you want to talk about something a little bit more controversial, a little bit more fun. And I think this is going to be a great spot for us to do that and get on people that we want to talk to as well, sometimes that we don't get the chance to talk to. So I'm super excited about this, and yeah, let's get her going.
All right, so one of the hot topics today is Monday. One of the big things that happened, I know for a lot of the, crypto Twitter anyway, was supposed to be like a debate between the Ginger and Thomas Smith, aka Papa from Safemoon. And it was supposed to be a debate. I think it was going to be something they talk about the swap and liquefy and maybe some of the actions that was happening from the marketing wallet. But it ended up turning into a 7-page reading of an affidavit that, Mr. Ginger himself signed today. He signed it today in the state of Washington, and pretty much said, "Hey, if you guys feel like, not even if you guys, it was really pretty much directed at Thomas and was like, hey, if you feel like, I'm telling lies about anything that's in this affidavit, then sue me. I'm willing to counter sue me, and I'm willing to go to jail if anything's wrong." Yep. So big, bold statement. And I went to the Twitter space, and I wasn't the only one there. It was a few thousand people there. Scott could attest. How many people was it, you think?
I think over 2,000. I think it was almost 2,200 or more. Yeah, it was up there.
So like I was so into it, like I had it on my loudspeaker. Like I took the headphones out. I had the speaker. I was like, I don't want to miss a drop, man. So I was, the funny thing for me is like I'm actually not a Safemoon holder. I'm one of the sob stories from Safemoon. Like a lot of people might have had this impression of Safemoon, and I was this guy right here. You see him? That was my story, but that was my own journey, right? Like, but I don't hate the project because I love crypto, right? Yeah. Did I know something was shady in the beginning? No. Did I think that the team was shady? No. I actually praised them, and I think a lot of them got a lot of praise. That in some sense or another was a little bit too much for the the experience that they may or may not have in their respective fields. But the Mr. Ginger story was very interesting just because he had a 7-page affidavit.
Crazy.
That he read. He read the entire 7 pages.
He went through it all. That's incredible.
And in my honest opinion, I felt like Thomas was a little bit taken back from it mainly because I think a lot of these guys have NDAs or had NDAs, and now they're pretty much most of them are expired. They're able to talk a little bit more freely, and now it's like it could be diminishing to some character, like some people's character,
Yeah.
and like I don't think this is about money anymore with them. I think this is about character. And I don't want to say like I believe one side or the other, because I don't have a dog in this fight. But I do think if the truth comes out, regardless of who's right or wrong, I think it's the betterment of DeFi and self cleaning up DeFi. Like I hate to see this had to go to court if it does go to court. But I think Thomas was thrown off a little bit by the subject matter changing up, and he wasn't prepared for it, so he didn't feel comfortable to speak.
Yeah, he definitely went in with shock and awe on that one. But Ginger is like, honestly, I've seen him from the very beginning. He's exactly like this. He's controversial. He is what he is. Like, I'm not gonna say anything positive or negative. Like I seen what was written and all that stuff or whatever, but in the end, I'm like I don't know. I love Safemoon. Always love Safemoon. I love the characters that they kind of built up around Safemoon, just the way they did them, the actions. It's all a great hype, right? Like it's a way to build people up and get them excited and do everything. I love the energy that Safemoon used to have, the hype. It was just Safemoon was amazing, and it always is, and it holds a place in my heart, as hard as it is sometimes, because I still think they're going to do the right thing and do the changes that they need to do to better their project. They're not going to be able to not move forward until they have that version 2 already done. And honestly, even on this show or another show, I like to see Pop on here. I love to see John Karony on here. Love to see any of those guys and just be able to talk to them and get how they're feeling and how they feel about it. Because I mean, there's a lot of people that when they get in a space or whatever, there's always somebody else interrupting or doing something to get a person, sorry about all this sound going off in the background, but just to get that, I guess, like open communication, but in a quiet place. I think this could be kind of the place to do it, maybe, potentially. You never know, but
yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to have all the guys on. I mean, it'd be controversial, right? Like, I would love to see them actually have a debate. I think like today, I think it was a little bit unfair to bring a gun to a knife fight in a sense, and nobody got hurt. I don't want to use that in a sense that sounds derogatory, but it was like one man was equipped and the other guy wasn't equipped, right? And to each his own. Like I think that for people who get into going to the Safemoon, I think for people who get into Safemoon, not knowing what they expecting the moon story, and there was a lot of moon stories, and I think that's amazing. Yeah, and
I started lots too myself.
Yeah, but it was at a point like the company got to a point where it was like they were over promising and under delivering.
Yeah.
And Ginger also said that he had talked to Hank, and Hank had said that him and Thomas both were only working 2 hours a day, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week on the blockchain and the wallet. So that's 10 hours a week that they were working. And they were saying, and he was even on record to say that, they portrayed John as a character that he didn't feel like he ever got to know John. So he didn't want to speak on it because he was like, the only thing I know about John is bad things. So he's like, I don't feel comfortable, talking about John. But his biggest subject matter was that, they were all whales, himself included, and they knew that, they were going to be, dumping, some of their bags, and I mean, that's the part of the game, right? They got to pay themselves out. They got to pay themselves back. So it wasn't nothing wrong with it until it was the piggy bank token that I think he's got personal issues with. And I think that's getting a lot more faces drug under the bus than necessary to prove his point. But it was basically, he alluded to that, potentially there was a conversation between him and Thomas, and Thomas asked them to be a part of Piggy Bank, their whale group. And it was going to be pretty much Safemoon without John. So I think John had some form of restriction or at least had some communication with the whales, and had a maybe kind of talk with them about, selling and how they could sell to get money without doing, in a respectful manner, or at least have an acknowledgement of who they were. But at the same time, it was a lot of things that transpired, and it's not fair for no one to say, what really transpired outside of, the core group, but it's fun to talk about, right? Like, and I think he really had some like great points, man, that was like hard to swing back on. Like,
I know. And I think it's like you said, though, too, it's like there was no time to really push back at it or do anything. So, I mean, when you get shocked like that and told something, it's just like, what do you do? Like, I'm interested in the next few days or the week, what's going to happen. The other thing is like that piggy bank token or whatever, and his crew of people. I don't know anything about them, but I knew from what
I bought that token. I know that whole community.
Yeah.
It's, man, bro, it's like, I don't want to say they're malicious, have malintent, right? Like, you don't want to believe that anybody. Nobody wants to feel like they're superheroes or villain. Not to say that these guys are anybody by any means anyone superhero. Maybe to some people in DeFi, they are. But it's just, I think for me, well, I guess I'll ask you a better question in a sense. Where do you feel like the issue went wrong with Mark and Safemoon?
I don't know where that happened. He was, so why did Mark
think he found out? Do you think he found something out about Safemoon's contract that as a developer he didn't feel comfortable with, and that's what ultimately led to him going out and writing different contracts?
Swap and liquefy.
Or do you?
Yeah.
It's no surprise that it caught some developers off track. Right? I mean, it was like, like they weren't expecting it, right? So So where do you feel like he did you feel like he went there and seen something that he didn't like him, and that's why he left? Because even though they tried to say that he wasn't essentially a part of their team, they had him on Safemoon videos, so that was pretty much a lie. Not a lie, but that was I mean, it's a statement that wasn't true. But I think for me, that's when, honestly, like, I don't want to say I left when Mark left, but Mark was too smart with numbers, in my book, to be looking at this equation wrong. Now, him not having the volume numbers is what always led him to ultimately, which is what led him to ultimately to not be able to have a debate with Ryan Dunn about the swap and liquefy feature, because nobody could prove volume. But the swap and liquefy was causing the price to go down, which should have ramped up the volume, but it was snatching liquidity at the same time. So if there's no transactions, it would actually cause the price to seem lower. So I think when Mark got involved and he found a little bit out about things that were going on inside of the contract. That's why I think that he kind of just maybe pulled the reins back and was like, hold up, I'm here trying to fix DeFi. I don't want to be a part of this. And I think that's the same approach that you have Ginger trying to take, which is, hey, I'm going to try to come in here and make it seem like I'm saving DeFi. But in reality, he got his bag fucked over with piggy bank token and he was mad. And I think that's where this started at.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of looking at the sentiment online right now, even after that Twitter space.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look in Papa's just did a tweet a little bit ago about the only person he's scared of is his 8-year-old son. Or how does he say it? No, he doesn't say age of his son. He says, the only person that scares me is my son. Shout out to the little nerd. Go to bed though. What the F? But then the people that are responding on the chat aren't saying anything bad about him or mentioning it. It's all, I love you, blessed. Like just comments, little Papa.
Anything going on the, well, let me see if he had a Discord.
And it's kind of interesting to me that you're seeing that side. It's like people are just saying whatever, right? But I know there's other groups that are on the other side of it.
Oh yeah.
And
but I was just like, I was kind of blown away that it was so many personal matters that got brought up into this.
I know
it was.
I don't think, like, I understand I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with all the names that were mentioned and all the stuff that was said. I think it was inappropriate to bring other people into it sometimes too, right? So the way he did, and what is going to be the actions behind that? I don't know. I'm kind of confused and stuck in the middle on all this. You know me, like I'll always believe in Safemoon, but also in some places I have a soft spot for Papa for some reason. I know he's not what it was made out to be or whatever, that it worked for him or that it went proper or whatever, or that he did what he should have done. That's just the shitty thing sometimes, right? So,
but I mean, maybe he was hired to do that job. Maybe that's what he was paid to do.
Yeah. But
maybe he knew how to fork contracts. No matter what it is, I think that, out of respect for not this. So to me, like I have this profound respect for Papa or or Thomas,
yeah.
and I think he, if I met him, I would be like, hey, what's up, bro? I always speak to him. But it's not about us. Sometimes it's about all these people who invested, right? And for you probably didn't know about piggy bank token, but I did, and I lost BNB in that. And I know if it was somebody else from another country that put their money in there, believing in somebody, and it got taken, I wouldn't, like, for me, I can lose a BNB, and I'm not gonna. I'm gonna sleep the same way tonight. I'm not gonna lose any sleep, right? But like, it's not fair for other people, right? Like, some other people, it's like, what's the use of, like, why are you stealing from people, right? And then, like, it's almost like stealing from the homeless, like, in a sense. If somebody's in a bad situation and they're willing to play your lottery game to get, to try to change something in their life, and you're making it seem like it's a safe lottery, why close the trap on their hand? Like, and it doesn't work like that for everybody, but we also got to realize a lot of things that happen with these tokens is they're attracting new consumers, right? And, even myself, I get caught up in this sometimes because, like, if we're talking about DeFi, and, no disrespect to Safemoon, bro, but we're talking about DeFi, you can't mention Safemoon. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's out of all due respect for all the cryptocurrency and all the years that crypto's been here. I'm sorry. Stop. It's just, everybody who's thinking Safemoon's the king of DeFi, stop. You're crazy as hell. There are DeFi sectors with blockchains that actually fucking work, and they're inoperable, and they're running, and they have layers built on them and DApps. And Safemoon is supposed to be the future of this, or another chain of this, to do these same things and be able to do these at the same speed. To not see the blockchain working has always been a staple in my back, right? And the thing that got me was able to process 3,000 transactions at one time, and I heard that multiple times out of Papa's mouth or Thomas's mouth myself, because I used to follow Safemoon. Man, I would walk through a brick wall for Safemoon, right? But sometimes that judgment of put a blindfold over your eyes in a sense, right? And you're like, man, like now, like I'm like, I can't believe I used to tell people that Safemoon was going to have a blockchain running by October, which is supposed to be this month. Last month, the blockchain was supposed to be out, right? By that timeline that they did, and I can't believe I went out and told people that when it's multiple blockchains already in this fucking system that works. It's multiple blockchains, bro. Like multiple blockchains.
I know I invest in other stuff, but I also still hold Safemoon.
Yeah, but like, did you go in there thinking that you went in there knowing it was a meme coin, bro? It was not a blockchain. They were not talking about a wallet.
Yeah.
When Safemoon started, bro.
Oh, when it first started, there was no blockchain or nothing.
Thank you. This was a fucking meme project. So you got in early, But for the people that are on Twitter, sitting in Twitter spaces for hours at a time, talking about Safemoon is the greatest blockchain that ever existed, and they're gonna be they're replacing Bitcoin. Stop
that's crazy.
Your shit.
But even still, I think there is going to be ability on Safemoon to do something different.
Of course, they have the cash to do it, bro. They got a $1.692 billion market cap. So to bring, I think what they're doing right now, ushering in. So do you think if they're ushering in new personnel all over through Safemoon and hiring,
they're cleaning it up,
a company? So do you think they're doing that for the betterment of Safemoon? If you're saying they're cleaning it up, you're saying they're cleaning it. So would you assume that it was dirty? If they had to clean it up, if it was nothing wrong with Safemoon, why is everybody leaving?
No, I agree with you. Or why did they tell people to leave? There's something there, and they need to come out and say something about it or communicate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they owe it to the community. I think Thomas owes it to the community, whether he comes here to do it, whether he comes to a Twitter space to do it. I think that it's a time and place for everything, man. And to have your notoriety, to have people that potentially follow you and sign a petition for you if you needed to have a judgment of character, that's one thing. But I gotta always allude to the point, like, it's people who just got into crypto, who don't even know what a blockchain is, who think you're building the first blockchain in the world, and that you're going to Gambia to save all the people in Gambia. So I even if they go, like, I don't think they're not going to go to Gambia. They're 100% going to go. I don't think that they're not. I don't think that they're not going to have a blockchain. I don't think that they're not going to have an exchange. I think they're actually going to have all of this, right?
Yeah.
The timetable is, and look, it's people around you running circles. SHIB got to swap out. SHIB and Safemoon used to be like neck and neck in my book.
Yeah, they used to be.
I used to go argue with SHIB Army about how great Safemoon was and how dumb they were for holding that little dog that was a fake Doge. Like, and whole time I got both, And
the funny thing is, like, if you think about it in the end, though, too, right? I get it. Like, every project has its delays, and I know it's been a while or whatever. But at least now that they're getting along and working as a team, and the atmosphere is back at Safemoon, like, you can tell. Go in there, like, I go in their Discord, I go in places, and some of it, the vibes are kind of coming back, like we talk about in here. Like, and they need that back because that was lost. 100% that was lost for a while, and it was negative.
Oh yeah, it was super negative for a little while.
I even left that chat and didn't want to come back. And it's kind of funny. I've ran into some of the older Safemoon group, I got invited into a group where I can visit with them and stuff, and it's kind of neat to have the ability to speak to some of the older characters that were in there and stuff like that. Like it it was a little part of my life when I was stuck in a job that I hated, and it was my one escape during COVID.
Safemoon was your escape.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, for sure.
No, it's cool. I mean, that's how I got into, being on Twitter, and talking to the Safemoon people, man. But I will say, man, they also brought up, some other, projects.
Project
And I mean, just other developers. I mean, it's a group. They say it's a group of these fork developers, as they call them. Which aren't actual developers. They're just good at, copying and pasting code. I just want the honesty, man. Like I don't care. Like it's cool. Like people will eventually learn. You got to pay to play, right? You're gonna pay your dues. If you don't have, the simple name of this game is trade and barter. If you don't have your money there first, when the person who wants to buy it for hire wants to buy it, you're not going to be inclined to sell it to them because you just bought yours, right? Like, so whoever has it for a cheaper price has to also realize that, like somebody bought it. Like people like who's selling Bitcoin? The people that bought it last year when it was fucking $13,000. That's who's selling it. Like it's a great price to sell it at. They don't care. They can buy some more with their profit, right? Which they probably accumulated on some of the dips, which would only make sense, right? So kind of think about that. The only unfair advantage with DeFi is in this sector of DeFi, this can happen. Money can get drained out of liquidity pools, and it can be done behind people's back, and it's going to happen, right? Like I'm okay. Like I think that people need to educate themselves before getting into the crypto space. I think that's very important, guys. Like make sure that you do educate yourself in this space before you do get involved, because if you're really looking for solid projects and the future, look at the projects that already have utility working. Okay, because there's going to be a test net for a lot of things and a lot of bugs, and even all the stuff that's happening on BSC right now. There's no true layer 1 on top of BSC. So that means nobody's actually built the next best thing to BSC. And I still don't even really see a big bridge. I don't really see a bridge that can bridge BSC to all the chains either. So it's going to be, I don't know, man. Like I think, BSC will definitely keep building, but I think right now we need more creative developers. Like I think right now too many of our developers are like-minded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Probably underpaid hackers or underpaid developers stuck in a job somewhere that they don't really want to be at, and they see how much they could be paid, how much they could actually pay themselves, and sometimes things happen, and I think not letting it happen multiple times it should be the key. Like if you did something wrong, man, like, and you got away with it, cool, man. Like, but don't come back and set the community up again. And I like I said, man, I just think it's some interesting things. I think over the next couple of weeks, I don't think this is going to die down just because of the magnitude that Ginger approached the situation with. And he didn't even get into the juicy stuff. If you guys follow him on Discord or his group on Discord, Lip Service, he posted the hash, a hash transaction that's from BSC scam, that is a transaction ID, and it goes from the Safemoon wallet while Thomas was in control of the Safemoon wallet over to Nobility, and it was right at $1.5 million. So I think that story is going to tend to unfold a little bit or unravel here in a little bit, and maybe cause a little bit more
controversy.
controversy. Yeah, I don't like calling it FUD either, but yeah, it'll definitely cause some controversy. We'll continue to monitor prices. I don't know. I don't think this is going to die down yet, man. I think ultimately, either way, this helps Safemoon, right? Like, so no matter if, and this is, like I said, I don't have a dog in this fight, but if you are holding Safemoon, the one thing that makes Safemoon's price hard to go up is that people don't sell fucking Safemoon. They're like diamond hand Safemoon, right? Well, with the supply being as high as it is, for people not to be trading it and not to be selling it, where are you getting value from? So there's no value. So there has to be a point. So if this FUD does turn out to be true, and a lot of people do, hear about it and they think bad on Safemoon, this is going to be a major opportunity for a lot of people to get out of Safemoon or cash out of Safemoon. But there's going to be a big opportunity for the people who buy Safemoon and ride this new V2 wave and ride with John and the new team and Ryan and see what they build. Because I think there is a lot of faith in that team and what they're building right now. And they're, like you said, I think they are putting the right people in the right position. And I can't imagine them legally not doing the right thing. I don't think they're in a situation right now. I think that how much money they collected, and being approached by the FBI about some of the doings of the block of the workings of this business, they're not at liberty right now to get away with anything as far as not producing. So I think anybody who's investing in Safemoon, your investment is safe now. I think that you got to position yourself for the ride, and set your risk tolerance to match it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting. I'm going to be sitting back watching and
popping popcorn
with my diamond hands.
Yeah, Scott's diamond balls, guys. Like, so one of the things we like to say, Scott's got the diamond balls. I got a case of it every now and then. But yeah, we're gonna definitely we're gonna wrap this one up for the day. But guys, we're gonna just probably jump on about once a week, pick out some Twitter topics, and kind of go back and forth about what we feel. This one was a hot topic because it's got a lot of people that we all personally know involved. So we didn't want to kind of get too deep into this one today, just because out of respect for everybody that's involved. We know people on both sides, and and from all parties, and we've got respect for everybody that's in the industry. So always want to put that out there, but always interested to have a little bit of debate. We don't know what the next topic will be, but I will definitely tell you it'll be soon, because there's been a lot of drama, and I think it's going to be a little bit more drama. Guys, always make sure you're doing your own due diligence on all your projects. Guys, jump into your BSC scan, put the contract ID in there, go to transactions. It's not really hard. There's companies out there that can help you guys do this. You could probably watch a video online and just see where the money's going. I mean, it's not always bad when people are taking money out, like they need it for marketing, companies do, but it should be done in an appropriate manner. And sometimes they take the money out for exchange listings, and it doesn't come out of the marketing wallet. It actually comes out of the liquidity for exchange listings, because they feel like it's going to actually add volume to the project, which should add the money back. But that's not always the case. So, always do your own due diligence and stay safe out there, guys. And I hope you guys come back for another episode of Club Vibes.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So until next time.
Have a good night, you guys. See you later. Peace.